Hello everybody and welcome to Omnipoke, the channel that brings you guys everything Pokemon. I'm Jack and today I'm here, as you can see, with round 4 of the Pokebeach tournament. Looks like our opponent sent us the request straight away. So yeah, as you can see, we're against Gab King 5458. So we're going to pick Night March and head straight into it. Regarding round 4, unfortunately, round 4 was kind of boring. It was me setting up for a turn, and then our opponent just conceding because we pretty much had an auto win. He said he was playing Mewtwo, and he decided that because the matchup was so sort of favoured towards me, he didn't really want to waste either of our time, so he just sort of scooped and gave me the win. So Gab King has indeed said good luck, and we will respond with a good luck of our own, and we'll hop straight into it. Looks like we've got a pretty rough hand. Now, me and Gab King have been messaging one another for the past couple of days, when discussing when we're going to play, and he said he has a pretty strong matchup against Night March. So I don't really know what we're going to be seeing here, but he said he has quite a positive matchup against Night March. So it'll be interesting to see what we've got here. We do see the Aegislash, so that's not something we can't deal with, but it's obviously something we don't want to have to deal with consistently, because it means we're going to have to find Hex each and every turn. But that's okay, because we do have outs to do so with 2 Hex and 4 VS Seeker. So here I'm going to get the Feebas straight down. Do I go for the Trainer's Mail or the Acro Bike first? So yeah, Gab King has actually seen our deck list, so okay, we get a Compressor, that's nice. So we can compress away some Lampants, hopefully. I know we've got one in hand, but hopefully we can grab a couple more. 1, 2, potentially a Supporter as well, though we have got Shaman in hand. So we may not want to get a Supporter yet. We are going to have to, because Aegislash is resistant to us, we do need a little bit extra damage if we're going to be attacking with Pumpkaboo. So I do want to kind of prioritise some of these Night Marches straight away. Let's have a quick look through for DCE count. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, and yeah, both of our Milo 6, both of our Feebas. Okay, so yeah, I'm just going to ditch 3 Lampants for now. I'm sure off the Acro Bike and then the Shaman, we should at least get some outs to getting through a bit more of our deck. We get another Acro Bike. I'm happy to discard a Pumpkaboo here. Again, against the Aegislash, we probably want to be running... or we probably want to be using Joltik more than anything. Do I take the Ultra Ball or the Shaman here? I think I take the Ultra Ball here, just to get this Lampant and the Pumpkaboo in the discard. And I'm going to grab myself probably a Joltik. I did see a Psychic line, so there is potentially a bat line in here as well. I know it would be kind of weird, but he seemed incredibly confident with his Night March matchup. So with like Aegislash and bats, I could definitely see why he would be confident with that. Whether it's something else, I don't know. But we'll have to wait and see. So we do get a Hex for next turn, that's nice. Unfortunately no DCE or D-Valley or anything, so you may have to carry on digging a little bit. Again, I'm going to start off with the Compressor. Probably getting rid of a Supporter this time. Yeah, I think I'm probably going to get rid of a... okay, both of our Sycamores are prized. That's annoying, but it might not necessarily be a bad thing, because we do still have outs to draw this turn. So let's go with... looks like one of our Hexes is prized as well. So let's just get some Night Marches in there. Was there another Pumpkaboo? No, there's only Joltics. I think I'm going to kind of have to go a bit aggressively with the Night Marches and then use Buddy Buddy to try and get them back in. How many have we got at the moment? We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This will bring it to 7, 8, 9. With the Muscle Band, we do have a knockout using Pumpkaboo. Without the Muscle Band, well, in fact, without the Muscle Band, we Is it too risky to get rid of a DCE here? I could get... What I'm thinking is getting rid of a DCE and then using Milotic to get it back next turn. That feels very risky, but without Sycamores, it might be not a bad idea. Just because if he hexes himself next turn, it means we don't have to hex. No, I think I should get the Joltik in there. I think that's far too risky. I think I'm just better off getting the damage in. So we're going to go for the Scoop Up, hopefully on the Shaman. Unfortunately, we hit a Tails. And then we'll go for the Trainer's Mail. Get a VS Seeker and a Startling Megaphone. What do I want to go for here? I can't see the Megaphone being all that useful, so I think we should just go for the Seeker here. The question is, do I Hex now, anyway, just to try and slow him down? I think I do. I think I'm going to go for the Hex, and then VS Seeker. No, I'm better off having the VS Seeker as an out in the deck. Okay, we're going to pass it over there, I think. See, now if I'd done that DC play, potentially it would be a real punish, because we could actually... Okay, he's playing Mewtwo Spirit Link, which makes you think Mewtwo... Well, of course it's Mewtwo. But Mewtwo is pretty weak to Night March. Like I said, the guy that I played in round 4, pretty much just scooped. He maybe missed the Hex, that's interesting. We get a Feebas on my Milotic. Yeah, he misclicked that. That's unfortunate. I think what we're going to do here is use the Milotic to grab an Ultra Ball. And then use the Ultra Ball on probably the Feebas and the definitely going to be grabbing the Ultra Ball here, I think. Because it's going to get us into a Shaman. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 Night Marches at the moment. So we would need Muscle Band with Pumpkaboo, but we would need Hex. But we still need Hex. Well, we wouldn't need Muscle Band with Joltik, so I could get rid of it that way, but then we'd have to find a switching card for Pumpkaboo. I think here I'm better off getting rid of the VS Seeker, simply because there's more outs to getting a VS Seeker than a Muscle Band. So I'm going to grab a Shaman, plonk the Muscle Band on Pumpkaboo, and go for setup. Hopefully we can hit some things here. We get the D-Valley. That's really unfortunate. We actually missed the Hex. Okay. So how can we... Without Hex, we can't really do anything this turn. So... What are we going to go for? There's no reason to Ultra Ball here. It's just all that's in the deck is a Milotic and a Joltik. Could potentially AZ. Obviously it means we can't Hex this turn, but it will at least get us some more cards. I think that's what I'm going to do. I think I'm going to AZing up my Milotic would actually guarantee the knockout next turn. Unless he has a way of dealing with that Milotic. Let's AZ up the Milotic, I think that's right, because then we have the out to the Hex next turn. Got a 2-dimension Valley. There's no point in, like I say, there's no point in Ultra Balling, nor attaching this energy. Just because he could run hammers or something, so I think we're just going to pass it over there. Ooh. Interesting that he plays Mewtwo as well. He probably could have, well, he potentially could have got through this game just with Aegislash. If we can't find a way of chaining Hex each turn, he would be able to just sort of run through. Well, we wouldn't be able to do anything to him with Aegislash, to his Aegislash, but goes for the he's going for the Mewtwo, which is interesting because it means we can buddy buddy for a Pumpkaboo and really easily one-shot the Mewtwo. Pumpkaboo does go down, but we know we are getting a knockout next turn. So we're going to go for the Joltik. Get the Super Scoop up, that's nice. Do I want to use it on the Milotic or the Shaman? Let's go for the Milotic and grab Hex. Now, do we want to use this Super Scoop up? I think we do. I think I'm going to try and pick up this Milotic again. Fortunately, we get Tails. So after that, there's no real reason. There's nothing much else for us to do. So I think we just go for the Hex and then the 2 prizes. What does Ultra Ball get us here? Milotic and Joltik. Getting a Joltik might not be a bad idea, just so we have outs to an attacker next turn. So I think I'm going to do that. I'm keeping hold of the... Well, I don't think it really mattered between the Dimension Valley or the Hex, but just in case he wants to put a Beneficial Stadium to him in play, at least we can bounce it next turn. And the Ultra Ball wasn't really getting us much anyway. So we do get the knockout on the Aegislash, and we're taking 2 prizes. Get a Sycamore and a Floatstone, both pretty useful cards. Sends up the Mewtwo, which makes me think he's probably got DCE in hand to respond. Gets a level ball, I would imagine for the Bronzong. Evolves into the Bronzong, and yeah, I'm pretty sure he's going to have a DC. Okay, he didn't have the DC in hand. So, probably relying on us not being able to reach more than 200 next turn. We're doing 200 at the moment. Is there any way we can do 210? Unless we can find a Muscle Band, not really. We've got to select... actually, this could be a way of us doing 210. It literally depends on whether he's got an energy or not. If he has an energy, then... This is difficult. What I'm thinking, we could get rid of this Joltik, so then we are one-shotting this Mega Mewtwo. But that will be all of our Night Marches gone if he does have the energy. So we will need to hit exactly Buddy Buddy next turn off of this Sycamore, as well as a DCE. I think I get rid of a Shaman. I think it's more important having a Joltik next turn. We don't know that he's got the energy. He doesn't have the energy, so we could have done it potentially. Maybe we should have done it. I don't know, but we'll see. So we're going to go for Trainer's Mail. We get the Buddy Buddy. Buddy Buddy could actually be helpful here, because we can get a Pumpkaboo back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we need Muscle Band. We do need Muscle Band. Otherwise, hitting him is kind of useless. So if we get a Pumpkaboo, okay, I think we're gonna grab Buddy Buddy. Use Buddy Buddy. He will get the Aegislash back, I'd imagine. But if all we need now is a DCE off of this Sycamore. No, that could have been very bad. So we're gonna grab a Pumpkaboo because Mega Mewtwo has weakness. We can hopefully respond. We do get we get 3 DCE. That's nice. We also get the town map, which means we're gonna know what we're picking up this turn. I think I'm gonna grab the VS Seeker and the Hex, just to get more outs into. Maybe I should just grab double VS Seeker by that logic. Either way, we can attach here. We are paying to retreat, which is really annoying. Which means we are losing a DCE, but we've got another 2 in hand. And we are guaranteeing ourselves the knockout this turn, which is really nice. And then next turn, we will still knock out the Aegislash if we can find a Hex. So we're going to take the knockout, and what do I want to take here? Probably just 2 VS Seeker. Because we've got a Sycamore in the discard, we've got a Hex in the discard. So those two just give us more outs if he has some way of shuffling our deck in. That's 3 outs as opposed to sort of... well, 3 more versatile outs. This could be a Sycamore or a Hex. Whereas if we take the Sycamore, it can only be a Sycamore, if that makes sense. We have the Lysander for next turn if he wants to... well, to go for the Shaman if we need to. And I'm going to get rid of a Joltik here. Goes to the Sycamore. So I think now either way, unless he runs something like red card, we should have the knockout. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 Pokemon in there, or 10 Night Matches in there. So we're doing 200 damage, which is enough to go through the resistance on Aegislash. And we've got the Lysander for the Shaman either way. So we should have game 1 here. So we're just going to Lysander up the Shaman. GG. First or second? Excuse me. So we'll see what he wants to do. I would imagine he'll probably want to go first, but he may not. So he is going to go first. Do we BM him? Do we BM him? I think we do. I think we're going to go for it, just cause why not? Haha! Go for the huge Night March. 400 damage on a Shaman. Nice. So we get game 1. I'm again not going to look at his deck, just because it's kind of like I didn't see it all. You wouldn't look at it after a normal match, so I'm not going to quote unquote cheat. So yeah, our opponent's going first. We are up 1 game. That's really nice. My current record is 3-1. So actually, if I win this game, I can intentionally draw my next game, and it should guarantee me cut. Whether I win this game or not, I don't know. We will not go first. There's no means to say we are going to win this game or this series. But if we do, I do believe I can ID into cut, which is kind of boring for you guys because you don't get to see a game. But it will hopefully mean I can get into top cut. I'll look at the standings after this round, which finishes tomorrow. So I'll see what I can see and whether it is a possibility or not. Starts with a Mewtwo and an Aegislash. That's interesting. I don't know whether he top decked that maybe. But I feel like Aegislash is kind of the one that you'd want to start with over Mewtwo, because it forces the Hex, either the Hex or the Lysander, whereas the Mewtwo is a lot easier to knock out. Okay, so we have a DCE. We definitely have things to do. Do we go for the Acrobike or the Trainer's Mail first? I think we go for the Acrobike first. And we get a Compressor. Unfortunately, we are going to see Feebas go into the discard, but we can at least start building up our damage this turn. We're going to get 1... We've got a Lampent in hand already, unfortunately. But the other 3 are in the deck. Let's have a quick DC count. We've got 1, 2, 3 in our hand. So we've got 1 DC prized. And Night March account, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 Joltik, 1 Pumpkaboo, 2 Pumpkaboo, 3 Pumpkaboo. I think there's 1 Pumpkaboo prized as well. Okay, so not too bad. I probably just should double check for my low tick as well. Okay, no, that wasn't our only Feebas. That's nice. We do have a Sycamore this time. We've got the Hex in hand. Okay, I think I'm relatively happy with what we've got. It looks like there's 1 Shaman prized. Oh no, all 3 of our Shaman are in here as well. Okay. So I didn't fully establish exactly what we did have prized, but I know what we don't have prized to an extent. Unfortunately, we get no trainers, which is really rough. We just get 4 Pokemon, which is going to kind of mean we could actually potentially lose here, because we don't have a response. This could be very bad. If he has a way of retreating and attaching enough energy, we could definitely lose here. So we are of course going to go for the Hex anyway. just to try and slow him down. And we just get the 60 damage on the Mewtwo. That's pretty bad. He says GG, so we probably are going to be seeing... Yeah, he has the Mega and the DCE for... I think it's 100 damage. 130 damage on a Joltik, which is really unfortunate. So, this is going to game 3. Like I said, there's no reason to say I will win this series. I was just mentioning that I believe... I think that's how it works if I do win this series. I will quickly message him and say... Let me just quickly say I'll go first. So we can try and get that Hex turn 1 to stop him from using any Shamans or anything. So I'm hoping he's seen that. I'm just going to go for the battle request. Hopefully you saw that. Excuse me. I've still got a really tickly cough. It as you can see, it just doesn't seem to be going right, really. We win the coin flip, so we're going to be going first anyway. Sorry for the dead draw. That's okay, man. It happens. It happens. It's okay, it happens. If it helped, I whiff strangely first match. Yeah, like I say, it happens on both sides of the field. He has no he has no Pokemon to start with. We have two. We have a much better looking setup this time. I don't think there's much to see that we haven't seen already, but I will just take a quick scan just in case. So we've got the double compressor, potentially for a Hex turn 1, potentially just going to use the Sycamore turn 1. We will draw the extra card, get a DCE. That's not awful, but not great. We do have to attach from this turn, but if we're going to use Sycamore anyway, it doesn't matter. If we go for the Hex, then we don't have to attach from this turn. So let's start off by grabbing some Lampants. Because we've got two compressors, I'm not too bothered about doing checks on the first time round, but we're going to use them consecutively, so might as well do them now anyway. So we've got one Lampant in there, so all 4 of our Lampants are here. 1, 2, 3, 4 Pumpkaboo, and we've got 1 Joltik in the field. 2, 3. Okay, so it looks like there's 1 Joltik prized. We've got 1 DC in hand. 2, 3, 4 DCE, and Shaman count. Okay, 1 Shaman prized. Okay. So I'm going to get those Lampants in to start off with, then go for a second compressor. I actually think I'm going to go for Hex here. We could potentially be punished for it next turn, but if he can't sort of draw his way out of this board state at the moment, then we can sort of guarantee ourselves a knockout next turn. And Hex is definitely a card that can help us do that. I think I'm going to get rid of 1 Pumpkaboo and 1 Joltik here, just because the Joltiks are more useful against the Aegislash, but the Pumpkaboo is more useful against the Mewtwo, so I think they're both kind of useful. Oh, we should definitely get rid of a Lampin here. I completely forgot there was one still in the deck. Do I want to get rid of anything like Lysander or Zerosic? Probably not, but they're kind of dead draws, but I'd rather get some Night Marches in there anyway. Not going to attach this DCE. Just going to go for the VS Seeker on the Hex. Do I want to try and switch these? It's the Photon Wave one, so I can't see him knocking us out next turn. It will make it a lot more difficult to knock him out next turn if we do lose this Pumpkaboo, because obviously we don't have weakness. But if we're Sycamoring, hopefully we'll draw into the tools to do so anyway. If we're Sycamoring, then it would make sense to... But it's so much easier to knock out a Joltik than a Pumpkaboo. I'm going to leave it like that. See, this Photon Wave can actually just knock out the Joltik anyway, so if anything, it's kind of giving him a free prize just to avoid him knocking out the Pumpkaboo. Again, he didn't go for the... Okay, he had the Lysander anyway, so that's fair enough. Goes for the Photon Wave, and is reduced by 30, so we do need to do 200 damage here. So we need 5 night matches. We've got 6, so we are going to be taking the knockout here. Second Hex comes out, which means we are going to be losing the Hex. Oh, we also need Dimension Value. That's definitely another point to note. So we're going to go for the Sycamore. We have to, just to try and stay in the game here. Do get the D Valley and a Pumpkaboo. That's really nice. Do I want to compress or anything here, or do I want to... see, I don't want to ditch 2 Dimension Valley with the Ultra Ball, but there's still definitely really important compressor targets. We don't have enough damage to knock out an Aegislash yet, so I think I do compressor here. I think I just sack off the 2 Dimension Valley, and then potentially get them back with the what's it called? It'll come to me in a second. Milotic. We'll get them back with the Milotic if we need to. So we've got 2 on the field. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This will get 7, 8. 9 will be a knockout, but we need to use Joltik. So 9 will be a knockout, but we still need a Muscle Band. So if I get rid of the Joltik, we need a Muscle Band whether we keep the Joltik or ditch the Joltik, just because of resistance. It looks like both of our Muscle Bands are prized, which is awkward. I think I'm going to go for the Joltik. Now we're kind of reliant on Pumpkaboo. I really don't want to get rid of these 2 Dimension Valley, so I may wait to get a Shaman next turn instead, because then we can use Dimension Valley and another card, whatever we top deck. And this is like a DC or something, and then we're really sad and we wish we'd Shamaned this turn. But I am going to be going for the knockout here. And grabbing a couple of prizes. Of course, we got the 2 prizes as well. We get a Muscle Band and an AZ. So I don't mind tossing the AZ into the discard. Has the Metal Energy and a Battle Compressor. It's going to be difficult for us to knock him out this turn, but if we're doing... what are we doing? 20, 40, 60, 80, 100, 120, 140, 160, 180, 200 reduced to 180, which is enough. And we have the VS Seeker to grab the Hex. So we should be able to knock out this Aegislash next turn, no matter what. Let's see what he got into the discard. Gets Skylar and Sycamore into the discard. I think he got the Sycamore. Yeah, he got the Sycamore. So he's probably just digging for a Pokemon here. To avoid him losing next turn. He does indeed get the Bronzor. And we're probably going to see, yeah, level wall for another Bronzor here. Okay, we get the Feebas, that's nice. Now I feel okay with ditching a Dimension Valley because it means we've still got enough to like we're taking this knockout, so we only need 1 more to get another 2 prizes with Pumpkaboo. So I'm going to grab myself a Shaman here. Going to get the Muscle Band, and I'm not going to use the Hex obviously because we want a Shaman first. Grabbing a few more cards. Hopefully a DC or something. We don't quite hit the DCE, but that's okay. I think because we're looking for a DCE, I go for the Trainer's Mail first. To get the town map, that's nice. So we can see what 2 prizes we're going to be taking this turn. Shaman, Joltik, Ultra Ball, Feebas. Probably go for the Joltik and potentially the Shaman, depending on what we get off of these Acro Bikes. Really looking for a DCE here. Super Scoop Up's nice, but I can't see him knocking us out. So I think I'm just going to dig for the energy here. So we're going to go for the Acro again. Get the Lysander. That's definitely a nice one to have. I haven't seen any... Well, I have seen tools, actually, but I haven't seen anything other than Spirit Links, so I'm happy getting rid of the Megaphone here. And hopefully we can hit an energy here, get a compressor and a Trainer's Mail. I think the compressor's kind of dead now. There's nothing we really want to get rid of in the deck. I will just double check. I'm sure we do have a hex in here, but I will just double check because I have misplayed like that before. We will grab the trainer's mail. Could get another shaman here. Could ultra ball the Lysander and the trainer's mail for the shaman. Just to carry on digging. Yeah, I think that's fine. I don't think we're going to need Lysander too soon. And hopefully we'll grab ourselves a VS Seeker here anyway. From the shaman to get the Lysander in case he benches another EX. We don't get it, but we do have... is there a... I don't think there's a Milo... There is a Milotic in here, so we can actually buddy for a Milotic next turn. To get the Lysander back if we need to. But here, I think I'm just going to go for the VS Seeker. Grab that Hex. And go for the knockout with Night March. I really hope I'm right about the damage. Yeah, I am. Nice one. So yeah, going to take the Joltik and the Shaman here. We can get down to a relatively low hand size if he knocks us out to get a few more cards with the Shaman. If not, we can just carry on hitting through these things. He does bench another EX, but it's one that we have to use Lysander and Hex on. So we're just going to take out a Bronzor this turn, I'd imagine. Goes to the Floatstone. If he like brings it up, then we're in potentially a really good shape because we can just use the Ultra Ball to grab, or the Buddy Rescue actually, to either one to grab a Milotic, and then using the Milotic get the Hex Maniac. Okay, so he's going to make us dig for the energy. Because he's probably going to put an energy, or Metal Links an energy on... Oh no, he can't Metal Links this turn. Okay. So... we can actually Hex again next turn to force the manual attachment. If we can find ourselves a Hex. He may have forgotten that he couldn't Metal Links due to the Hex Maniac. Interesting. Okay. So what do we want here? What do we want here? We can definitely knock out this Bronzong. Are there any DCs in the discard? There's not. No, there's not. There's 1, 2 VS Seeker. Okay. I want to kind of save the Ultra Ball for the Milotic for the DCE next turn. Because I can definitely see this Pumpkaboo going down. So what do I want to do here? I don't want to use the DC. I don't want to use the Ultra Ball or the Buddy to get the Feebas back, or to get the Milotic because I want to save that for the Pumpkaboo next turn. For the DC, sorry, to attach to Pumpkaboo next turn. We're only just doing enough with this Pumpkaboo, so maybe we should bench the Joltik. But we have the Floatstone to retreat next turn. I think the only real punish here is if he happens to have some form of hand disruption. That's what I was hoping for. I was hoping to grab a VS Seeker there. So next turn we can just grab the Hex at the same time. So I think I just take the knockout here. And in case he does have any hand disruption, I'm going to go for the Ultra Ball, just so because it's another card to get us into Hex. So next turn we're going to Ultra Ball into the Milotic to get the DCU back. We have the Dimension Valley in case he bounces the Stadium. We have the Energy. We have the VS Seeker for the Hex. We have Floatstone in case he wants to try and Lysander stall us. So I believe we have this game on lockdown. I'm going to go for the Pumpkaboo. We will say, yeah, I think it is. I'm going to go for the GG. Oh, we actually get the Milotic off the top deck. That's really nice. We will indeed grab that DCE. And go for the VS Seeker for Hex Maniac. Ah, see, this is why it's so nice doing this YouTube stuff, because we know you guys really appreciate it. We really appreciate everything you guys have to say. So yeah, we are doing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So yeah, we can go for the Night March for game. So good game, Gab King 5458. Nice speaking with you. Seemed like a really nice guy, and we are now 4-1, which is excuse me. This tickly cough. It's a really respectable record, I think, especially with like I'll happily admit that loss that I had in round 3 was just awful play on my part. I do feel entirely responsible for that. It was awful play. But hopefully we have redeemed ourselves. I will double check to see whether I can ID. I obviously won't record, and well, there won't be much to record. But if I can ID, and my opponent's okay with it, then we may record some fun matches just for that round anyway. We only missed last round simply because it pretty much was, it seemed like an auto win for me, just because it was pure Mewtwo. So as long as I get like 5 or 6 pokes in the discard, and then can consistently get a Pumpkaboo out every turn, and then I can take 6 prizes in 3 turns. So he just sort of scooped to me and said, there's nothing much I can do against Night March. So that's why we didn't upload the round 4, because it was about 6 minutes long, of me and him just really talking and saying, me asking if he's sure if I want to concede, or if he wants to concede. But yeah, thank you very much for watching, and we're going to be into round 6 sort of the end of this week. So yeah, stick around to see whether we do ID or whether I have to play or have to win to get into cut. And yeah, thank you very much for watching. I've been Jack from Omnipoke, and look forward to seeing you in another video.